Today we're going to look at Midi beat clock. The first thing you're going to need is a USB. All right, USB Midi interface. This tells you that it's working. All right, the fact that it's lighting up is good. It's an M audio. These are really cheap. They're like, I think maybe $40 at the most. All right, I have a drum brute here. All right, and you have Midi. That's USB to Midi, okay? And I'm just gonna make sure that this is back to internal, okay. So, you find your Midi. It's a little annoying because it says 2 Midi in. So you go 2 Midi in there, all right. You don't need the Midi out because you're not sending clock from this, but I'll just plug it in. This is gonna be set to receive the clock, all right? So in Pro Tools, and this is a kind of a, not the greatest video, but it's a quick one. So you're gonna go to setup, all right, and then Midi, and then beat clock, all right, and then you're gonna enable beat clock for whatever audio interface, whatever Midi interface you want. Hit OK, and notice our tempo here is 100. All right, this is a mono drum machine, all right, and I have this going into Pro Tools. Let's see if we can hear it. I'm gonna just make it. All right, I hear it. That's great. Now I have metronome here. Let's just hear it. So that's 100. Let's hear the drum machine. All right. They are not in sync because we're sending clock, but whatever your device is, you have to tell it to receive the clock. So we have internal, USB, Midi, and clock. We're gonna go to Midi because USB is an actual USB interface for this. You could do the same thing. Clock is the CC clock in for like Eurorack. And then you have internal. So watch this 134 when it's set to Midi. If I go back to 0 and hit spacebar, it switches to 100 and it's in time. Let's record it. And so there you have it. Turn down the drums. We turn up the click. It'll be in time. And there you go. Midi beat clock, as easy as that. Depending on what you're sending Midi beat clock to, each device will have a different way to set that up. I use a lot of guitar pedals with Midi in. You can do synths. You can also send Midi data, like note data, into a piano or a synth. You could send the Midi from your Pro Tools into that synth and record the audio out of those sounds.